Hello everyone, this is Kai Toons here, and today we're gonna do part 3 on the Moonlight book series. So yeah, on this episode we're going to do books 6 and 7. So let's start with book 6, Going to School. Hold it, the lighting's bad, let me get that. Okay, you got better lighting, so let's start. Chapter 1, Low Education. At the campground of Camp Moonlight, Tyler, Mark, Dennis, and Rick were reading books while Dimly was watching them. And then a school bus came to the camp, and out came Mr. Roslin, principal of Kernsdale Elementary School. You don't look too happy. Mr. Roslin said, "Mr. Spookerson, it appears your campers have a case of low education. They need to attend school." Well, that's not very nice. So they had to ride on the bus. Chapter 2, New Kids. 5 minutes late. 5 minutes later, they arrived at the school. Mr. Russell said, "Your class will be Mrs. Sherrod's 4th grade class." So Tyler, Mike, Dennis, and Rick said goodbye to Dimly as they walked into the school. The kids said, "Hello, I'm Rory Tollboot. I hear you are all new kids, so hello." He said hello twice. So they opened Mrs. Huron's classroom and walked into the classroom. Chapter 3, Math Lesson. Mrs. Huron said, "Welcome to my 4th grade class. Sit in the seats over there." So they sat in their seats. Mrs. Huron said, "I'm going to hand out your math sheets now." Everyone got a piece of paper. Tyler looked at the math sheet. Everyone handed in their math sheets. "Thank you, Peter." And a few minutes later, they got them back with a grade. A plus, A, B, C. Rick's the smartest. Tyler's the least smartest. Don't think that's even how you say it. And they walked out of the classroom. Chapter 4, Learning History. Tyler, Mark, Dennis, and Rick were heading to their next class, History, with Mr. Erickson. Did I say the chapter name? I think so. Mr. Erickson said, "Welcome to history class. Sit in the seats in the middle." So they sat in their seats right away. Mr. Erickson said, "You will be doing a quiz." Mr. Erickson wrote on the whiteboard and said, Question number 1. Who found America? I think it's supposed to say founded. Who founded America? Leslie Peters shouted, "Christopher Columbus." Mr. Erickson said, "That's correct, Leslie." Mr. Erickson said, Question number 2. What is the capital of Oregon? Gordon McMead shouted, "Salem." Mr. Erickson said, That's correct, Gordon." Mr. Erickson said, Question number 3. What state has Mount Rushmore? Tyler, Mark, Dennis, and Rick said, South Dakota. No, wait. Tyler, Mark, Dennis, and Rick shouted, South Dakota. Mr. Erickson said, You are all correct. Mr. Aiken said, class is dismissed. Class is done. Go out for recess. Now it's what? Chapter 5, The Big Bully. Tyler, Mike, Dennis, and Rick ran outside, but the bully stopped them. The bully said, hi, I'm Randy Coleman. I heard you were the new kid, so prepare to be punched. No bully talks like that. Randy tried to punch, but they ducked down. And he ended up hitting himself. What the? Ow, how's that possible? And he ran off crying to himself. Wham! Oh, what a baby. Chapter 6, One Man's Respect. Soon, Tyler, Mike, Dennis, and Rick became the most popular kids in the school. Man, you rock. Whoa. Do I hear a regular show reference? They got the best cafeteria food. Yum, welcome, tasty, cool. So, teachers got bullied too. I honestly don't know what my 9-year-old self was thinking. And best of all, they got to be the first ones at the bus. 3 months later, they graduated from the 4th grade. Plus, they won the Best Student Award. And they took the school bus back to Camp Moonlight. Chapter 7, Sweet Freedom. We can all relate to this. They saw Dimly, so they ran over to him. They jumped at him and said, Dimly. Dimly asked, how did the school semester go? Tyler said, it was great. We even graduated the 4th grade. Dimly said, that's good. Who's up for ice cream? And they all walked into the food cabin. Oh, Tyler's on a desk. Don't know why. That's Camp Moonlight issue 6, Going to School. Now let's go to issue 7, Clone Trouble. And as you can see, it's very torn up and wrecked. So, yeah. Chapter 1, A Bright Idea. It was a nice day at Camp Moonlight. Seriously, I use this a lot. Not the same thing, it's fairly the same. In the bunker, Toby mentioned had just finished making a new invention. Toby pushed his invention outside, and he showed it to Dimly. Chapter 2, Invention Talk. Toby said to Dimly, Spookishly, so, oh, is it good? Dimly replied, this is super incredible. No one says that. Toby asked Dimly, should I show it to the campers? So Dimly answered, sure, go ahead. What? That's stupid. What? That's in violation of child safety. They should be arrested. Chapter 3, Clone Subjects. Toby found them and said, hey campers, would you want to try out my new invention? Tyler, Mark, Dennis, and Rick said, sure. Tyler got to go first for the cloning machine. The machine started to wobble and oh. Tyler came out of the machine, and then a clone of Tyler came out of the machine. Whoa. So they created one clone for each camper. Chapter 4, A Helping Clone. The Tyler and Mark clone made chocolate cake. And then the Dennis and Rick clone were washing the buildings. So the original campers were playing dodgeball and dimly pushed the clone machine to a random spot. Chapter 5: Clone Craziness. When Tyler, Mike, Dennis, and Rick finished their chocolate cake work, said, I wonder where the clones went. Then they found the clones making more clones. Tyler shouted to his clone, What are you doing? The clone said, We're making an army to take over your camp. Tyler replied, I thought you liked our camp. The clone answered, No, we were just going to start a rebellion. Soon an army of clones showed up. A group of marks carried the campers and they put them in a cage. Help us! The clones made a sign that said Camp Clone Sylvania. Chapter 6: Clash of the Clones. They were making more clones. And the first clone of Tyler was the army's leader. Chapter 7: Breakout. In the cage, Dennis cried, How are we going to escape this cage? Tyler shouted, I have an idea. Tyler kicked the front of the cage. Wow, Tyler's strong. Or maybe he broke his leg, I don't know. And they charged at the clones. Chapter 8: Campers versus clones. Tyler punched one of the clones. Mark kicked another clone. Rick destroyed the Camp Clone Sylvania flag. And Dennis knocked out a clone. Jeez, these kids strong. The leader of the clones tried to run away, but Tyler saw him. So Tyler picked up the leader. Whoa. And threw him in the rotten river. Help, I can't swim. Chapter 9: Rescue Mission. Tyler, Mark, Dennis, and Rick went to the bunker. They found Dimly, Mary, and Toby were tied up. Tyler freed them by using a knife. Where did he get the knife from? Dimly suggested, So now that we're free, let's take down the clones. When they got to the rotten river, they found the clones returning. They found the clones retreating. Then a clone bumped into Tyler. Huh? Ow, ow, hey. The clone shouted, Hey, it's the non-clones. Get them. The leader of the clone slapped Tyler. Hey, that's not nice. Then Dimly said, I have an idea. Dimly ran over to the cloning machine. And Dimly destroyed the cloning machine. How? I don't know. Chapter 10: The Defeat of the Clones. So all the army disappeared. The leader of the clones said, Curse you, Cat Moonlight. And then he disappeared in the rotten river. Chapter 11: What do we do now? Rick said, What do we do now? Dimly answered, I think we should go back to what we were doing. And that's what they just did. Chapter 12: Outhouse Overflow. Dimly was going to the boys' outhouse. But when he opened the door, water came out. Help! Toby shouted. I'll save you. But then he fell into the water. Tyler and Toby shouted, Help! They burst out from the water. And they ended up in the rotten river. So did the water. That's tough. them rejoicing of the clawing machine burning and the next book. Okay, guys, so this was the third part of the Camp Moonlight book series. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye.